So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our part two of finding the right ideal spouse in your birth chart through your horoscope. And just like the part one, I'm going to say this again. I can end this in 10 seconds and say that whatever is in your life is already destined in your life. You're supposed to marry this person. Now, there is a thing that when someone says, actually, somebody asked me this question that is there any free will towards picking the spouse we want? Yes, there is, but it's not like you can pick anything you want because unless this person has some karma to finish with you, those are the only people that you will pick in your life. That's the 100% guarantee. I don't need to be a clairvoyant to tell you that. But the way to know this, that first of all, which is the planet of unionship, partnership, marriage, it's Venus, right? Venus is the karaka of spouse in general, of marriage in general. In a female's chart, we will pick Mars. In a man's chart, we will pick Venus. If somebody's a lesbian, we'll look at Venus. If somebody is gay, we'll look at Mars. Okay. And of course, I picked all these mixed things from the question that I asked the last time. So I've got a lot of things to cover here. But one of the ways to see this is that look at, and this is where, now this is, again, my job is to make you enjoy astrology. Just make it fun, make it like a second thought. It's just little bit of knowledge may be required for this particular part, the free will part. So if you know Vedic astrology, you've heard about the Navamsha chart. Look at the position of your Venus and Mars in Navamsha. Okay? If Venus is in a movable sign, if Mars is in a movable sign, you do have the free will to pick certain amount of people. Like, this is movable sign becomes like a multiple choice. God gives you multiple choice that, okay, you have movable planet in Navamsha. Here's 3 or 4 choices. And let's see if you can work things out with them. So even though you're supposed to finish your life with one of these 4 people, whether they come now, maybe they'll come now for a little bit, then in next life they'll come full time with you. But one of these 4 will come and you will meet one of these 4, but let's see which one you pick. So there is that changeable things. And especially, let's say your Venus is in a bad placement, Mars in a bad placement. So with movable sign, what will happen is, depending upon the karma that you're doing right now, since you have been doing since childhood all the way to 20, 25, 30, it can alter that state of that particular planet in Navamsha. But if a planet goes into a fixed sign in Navamsha, like Venus and Mars, then the choice is fixed. The choice is fixed. You are to be with this particular thing. Okay, now let's talk about, even if, let's say, things are set in stones, and I told you this before, people who will watch this video and people who will truly take on this video, they're the only chosen ones to understand this part. Rest of the people won't, because again, universe is not stupid. Just because somebody named Kapiel Raaj is trying to make some video to enlighten the world, if you're not destined, if you do not deserve that type of enlightenment on your chart or on life or on philosophy, spirituality, you're not going to receive it. So the one that is supposed to kind of like connect with you and change you, maybe that video, that book, that lecture, or that person is supposed to only come 4 lifetimes from now or next life. So you'll miss it, you'll skip it. The algorithm of social media will not bring that to you. So don't think algorithm is smarter than, God and godly energy in this universe. It's not. It's not. Okay. So now let's look at some of the combination. I'm going to start with Mars We're going to start with ladies, okay? And then we move into uh, Mars. And again, this is something, what I'm showing here right now, this is the easiest form of astrology you will find. Easiest, something that some people who are 25% interested in astrology, but 75% they're just not because of the complication for it. This may increase your love for astrology from 25% to 90%, 100%. And this is exactly what I'm teaching right now on my Nandi Nadi course, on my academy, Magha Vedic Astrology Academy, where whatever I'm discussing here is something that I've either already discussed or I'm going to be discussing more in details in the coming course, so you can join anytime. And of course the link is going to be in description, of course. And also I've added another additional video on my Vastu course. For that, the link will also be there for my academy, because I've tried and tested, even after my course was done, I tried and tested more things with people who I give readings. So I'm like, whoa, this is giving much, much better result than even this thing. So I've discussed that. Okay, so anyway, let's start. So the first thing I see from this person, and I didn't note that in the people, I just looked the post that I had, there was like 1,000 people posting. So I just picked whatever alignments that I saw, I picked. Okay. So the alignment I picked was Mars in Pisces at 7 degrees and 45 arc minutes. And fifth from Mars is Sun in Cancer at 0.59 degrees. So now the combination for this person, okay, becomes Mars and Sun combination. Mars is in Pisces. Okay, so how do we pick the right negative positive side of this? The negative side of this Mars is that the person is going to be aloof, and person's going to be in their own imaginary world. And I've seen this a lot with Mars and Pisces. Like the husband would have these big goals. I'm going to have a startup, and I'm going to work on this, and I'm working on this, and this is going to be this, but yet nothing is happening, and neither the husband is even bringing in the income to support the family. So that becomes the negative side of it. Okay, where a person is very much engrossed into that abstract thinking. It's great to have abstract thinking, but Mars need to have enough strength to generate that locomotive to push that forward. And they should have enough logic that if this is not pushing forward, I need to just leave this and do something else. So now Mars in Pisces with trine from Sun, the first thing we see, Sun is behind Saturn. Sun is behind Mars, because we're just looking at the triangle. That's it. There's other things we can look, which I have also, but you just see that Mars is in trine, and that's it. It's fifth from Mars. First of all, when Mars is in Pisces, the type of spouse you will get who will be very much invested in investments. They'll love investing money, which is a great thing. Because remember, every year, whether it's a dollar, whether it's a rupee, whether it's a yen, whether it's a pound or Deutschmark, it keeps decreasing in value by 1.35%. Some countries might even be more. So that means back in the days, the rule was save money. Save money, and that's it. That's all you need. You save money for 20 years, whatever you have saved is probably now worth half. So you have to have that intelligence to invest money. So Mars in Pisces person will always be about investing money, whether it's in mutual funds, whether it's in ETFs, whether it's in crypto, whatever, they will be into investing money. The other thing we also see, such a person, the right Mars, will also be into giving money away, meaning donating money. They'll be into donating money. And then the third great quality, which again, it's very subjective. You may like this quality, you may not. The person finds time to spend money on themselves. You have to. If you find a person who just simply invests, donates, they don't take care of their clothes, they don't take care of their family, there's no vacation time, it's just work, that is a negative Mars. Because Pisces is the original 12th house. of expenditure. So this person should be able to not only work towards the sign of Pisces, but also spend some money on themselves and their family, going on vacation, going on cruises. You will see this if a female has Mars in Pisces. If you have gone through it, let me know, because I've always found this to be somewhat true at one point or another. Whenever a woman has gone on a cruise and come back, suddenly they met somebody. Whether they end up marrying them or not, some dating happened, some relationship became active. The other thing, of course, Mars in Pisces will naturally show that a person, especially with this Mars in Pisces with Sun trine, person would have some strong inclination to wanting to become a Marine, wanting to join the government and where they can go overseas and work. And once that duty is done, then they will be either connecting with investments or connecting with import export. That's what happens with this one. So then the next one is Mars Jupiter, as Mars and Jupiter are in Scorpio. Perfect. And then Jupiter is right behind Mars in degrees. So then Mars is with Jupiter. Jupiter is right behind Mars. So that means Mars, your husband, is bringing qualities of Jupiter from past life. The person is going to be a natural coach, teacher, advisor, counselor, and somebody who's going to be an excellent motivator. Like such combination of a person becomes an excellent manager or a C-level individual who's able to motivate people, knows how to bring energy into people's lives. And especially when Jupiter is behind Mars, naturally a person is going to have a strong connection with wanting to learn higher knowledge, wanting to learn the right knowledge in life in order to grow themselves. They will even, so when Jupiter is in the behind Mars, shows that some blessings of the Guru is following them in this life. I'm not saying if there could be Saturn in the middle of this particular string, there could be other planet. This is simply Jupiter and Mars. And now it's in Scorpio. On reality basis, let's not even talk about astrology right now, because it's much easier to say, oh, well, your husband could have great interest in astrology, occult mysticism. That's like the most basic thing. The one thing that you will see with Mars, Jupiter, and Scorpio, the person is excellent at R&D, research and development. Such people do very well in working in places where there needs to be product development, brand management, dealing with, let's say, research into either finances, research even into biology. This is where they're going to find their interest. Anything where there's some secretive perspective is given, they love that. They like to be in profession where they have to sign a confidentiality agreement. Like, hey, you better keep this a secret. Like, for example, they go into finance, they go into dealing with other people's wealth and money. That means there's a fiduciary duty where they cannot disclose somebody's income, or like an accountant just say, oh, I have this client and this is his name and that's what they're making, but this is what they did. No, they'll lose their license. So when the spouse works in such type of fields, they grow. And naturally, like I said, Jupiter's expansion, right? But the thing is, if Jupiter is in front of Mars, the expansion will happen after marriage. But because Jupiter is behind Mars, the person was already doing well in their life when you met them. But the reason why they're doing well, not because they're intelligent and they're smart, they have the PhD, none of that matters. They have blessings carrying from their past life with one of their divine teachers. That's what's happening with this person. Then the other one was Mars in Aries, 7th house, with Saturn in the 3rd house. So, okay, so the string becomes Mars, Saturn, Jupiter. Okay, so this is the one of the people that sent it. So Mars is in Aries. So naturally, when Mars is in Aries, the person is going to be excellent at administration, administrative duties, administrative qualities, will always be punctual in life, and they will expect you to do things punctually in life. Now, this again, this is not to show you if you're going to have a good or bad relationship, because that depends. Because Saturn is there. Saturn is duty, commitment, sacrifice. They will be very much a person who's going to do things on time, wake up on time, wanting to be there at some meeting early, on time. Okay. And especially because Saturn is there in the front, the person will have to work rigorously to achieve their success. And because Jupiter is right after Saturn, anytime they work hard, they work long hours, there's going to be blessings at the end. So now, because this is a chart of a female that I'm looking at, when you have this particular Mars and Saturn, or Mars, Saturn, and Jupiter, you cannot complain with your spouse that how come you're coming home late. Why is it that you're not coming home time? Why don't you talk to your boss? Why don't you talk to your spouse? Why is that? Even if the boss says, you can leave at 4 a.m. or 4 p.m., they will only be leaving at 7 p.m. because until that day's project is done, they will not be satisfied. This is a soldier. This is a person who has been given a duty. They will not be sacrificing, their own pleasure for that duty. So if you have this Mars, you're gonna have to understand this particular alignment. You're gonna have to understand the fact that this is now becomes a machine, this person. And because Jupiter is also in the front, naturally they will eventually go up to the level of management, consulting, counseling. They will even start teaching people. They will become like life coach, business coach in their life. Then, and look, there's a lot more I can say here, but again, I have so much to cover here. Mars is in Sagittarius, third house. So they told me everything. So it's now pretty much Mars, and right behind Mars is Moon. Right in front of Mars is Jupiter, and it's in Sagittarius. So the very first thing, that the person that you're gonna meet, somehow they will be doing a lot of traveling. They'll be doing a lot of traveling related to their work. They will be in fields of strategies, consulting, counseling, management. And right after they meet you, because Jupiter is in the front, as soon as they marry you, they become very pious. They naturally feel like they need to learn a lot more than themselves. So, like I do a lot of like marriage consultation, where right after marriage, the spouse, whether it was a husband or wife, felt like, I need to get my master's degree. I need to get an MBA if I want to get ahead. So now they feel like they have to attain more knowledge. But before you, they were already dealing with traveling. But also what thing we see is that they would have a lot of support from the mother, but also at the same time, they attain tremendous amount of knowledge from the mother. But they will also fight with the mother. And you will see, this is not after meeting you. Before meeting you, mother naturally would have dealt with a surgery, especially related to their lower body. The mother would have had a surgery. And the incident would have happened when they were traveling, especially to some kind of like a more of, I guess you can say, a spiritual religious spot. And because of that, they had to have some surgery. Maybe they pulled some ACL, some kind of a muscle pull. Now they have to go for therapy. They had to get some surgery done. So that would be there. But they will still have support of the mother. And then the other thing with this Moon and Mars, spouse is going to have strong mood swings. You say something to them that kind of hinders their intelligence, they will either shut down emotionally or they'll become very defensive. Like they'll argue back. Oh, no. I'm not wrong. You're wrong. They will somehow try to switch that again. First of all, they cannot take defeat. Mars is in the third house. they become excellent at arguing. Even if the person is completely wrong, they'll somehow make you feel like you're wrong. So if this person was if you have this particular Mars, pretty much your spouse was very good at debating in their school or whatever. Then Mars, Moon, and Rahu, and they didn't give me any signs. So Mars, Moon, Rahu. So the person that you're gonna meet, as soon as you meet them, they will start traveling. They will have again their emotional ups and downs. They'll behave very childish when their needs are not met, and naturally they will also travel to foreign lands, foreign places, and they will also be inclined towards dealing with either chemicals, like going into whether they go into chemical engineering. If they're in software, they might be working for some pharmaceutical company, some kind of a chemical company, and they will settle in foreign lands. And also there will be of a different culture, ethnic background, or of a different caste. Then Mars and Sun. So Mars, Sun, Venus, Mercury is the string, but guess what? In this, we're just going to look at Mars and Sun. That's it. You just have Mars right in front of Sun. Let's not worry about Venus and Mercury. That's how easy we'll make. And it's in Gemini. Wait, what did I say? Strong. Okay, so this is for a gay individual who asked, but this is also can work for any female as well. So when Mars is with Sun, and did I mention any Mars Sun before? I thought I did. Okay, yeah. You know the first one that I did with Mars and Pisces with Sun? First of all, the person, even this one, where's this? The Gemini. Yeah. So Mars, Sun in Gemini. So the person, as soon as you meet this person, you marry this person, they suddenly have fame. Recognition happens. And it happens especially through social media. Social media, internet, communications. They will also be extremely good in marketing and sales, very aggressive in those things. And at the same time, with Mars being with Sun in Gemini, they will have a father, but they'll consider another person their father. There's this dualness. But also with this Mars, what dualness shows me, that you will have multiple people in your life that will come in. So don't be just settling for one. Somebody comes, oh my God, I'm going to marry this person. This is the person for me. No, because it's duality. It's there. If there's duality, like dual signs, there is going to be switch from one to the other. So you're going to get another person, then you're going to meet another person. And especially this person will have a strong influence of the father upon them. They will even look like the father. Very similar to the father. Great communication with the father if only this string exists. They will talk to the father every day. I don't know, you didn't specify any house, but you just said Gemini. And of course, one thing we also see, after they meet you, when the fame comes in, then the money comes in, and then they will also do business. Now, I'll give you an example which has nothing to do with this, because I don't know if this is how it's going to work out, but let's say they marry you. They put up some video on TikTok. Suddenly that video goes viral. And now they're famous. From there, somehow through ad revenues or something, or whatever they do, money comes in. And then they decide, you know what, maybe I should do business. Let's make this our business. And boom, that's how things take on. This is how simple this is. Next one. Mars in Aquarius. And then the string is Mars, Ketu, Jupiter. So simply it's Mars, Ketu in Aquarius. This is female chart. So naturally you're going to find a spouse, as they call in Hindi, a bit sunky, eccentric. Somebody who's kind of either like a mad scientist, will have great interest in mysticism, metaphysics, astrology, occult. But as soon as they meet you, number one, yes, their interest in astrology becomes active. Even if they, let's say, they believed in Reiki healing. They're engineers, researchers, they believed in Reiki or something, but as soon as they marry, suddenly they get interested in astrology. But also, this is very important to learn for females who have this. Don't be disheartened if this person becomes isolated after marriage. They want to be in their own office, own home. They no longer, like before, when you were dating them, they would like comment about you. Oh, I love you. How about we do this? Oh my God, you look so pretty today. But guess what? It's nothing about them. It is the chemical reaction of your chart that is now intertwining with them. They are becoming the Mars in your chart. So Ketu is making them isolated, distant, cold. They feel like, what is all this commenting and giving flowers on Valentine's Day and randomly doing things? I want to immerse into something higher. And then they will try to push you towards going into spiritual focus. Why don't we go see this guru? Why don't we go into this meditation? Why don't we get, you know, have this guru and be this way? And they become isolated from that particular marriage. It's not like they've lost their love. No, it's just that the way that you want them to love you, they have found something, and this is subjective. You can say they may have found something higher, the way they look at you, or maybe something lower. Who knows? But see, Ketu completely cuts their head off. So now they're not using their sensory perception to comment about you and talk to you. They're like, listen, you should just know I love you. This is our telepathic connection. Just because I'm up here working, just because I'm out in the office late and I'm not calling you and telling you the same way I used to tell you I love you randomly. No, it's changed. Your Mars and Ketu changed that person's perspective. So you can't be then like, what happened to my spouse? Is something happening with my spouse? Is some affair happening? No, it is simply that. And not to mention, you've got Jupiter right in the front. So yeah, first of all, also with Mars Ketu, as soon as they marry you, suddenly their status goes up high. Not fame. I'm not talking about fame. Status goes up high. Why? Because Ketu is flat. Dhavaj. Kuja Dhavaj Yoga. This person, through their competitiveness increases. And through that, they go rise up high. And after they rise up high, the abundance comes in of Jupiter, expansion in their life happens. But guess what happens? Guess what comes in? A guru comes in. A teacher comes in. Then is Mars in Taurus. String is Mars, Venus, Mercury. Simple. Number one, you're going to find the spouse who's going to be connected with banking, money, or dealing with family business. This person is going, you know that Robert De Niro's movie Raging Bull? This is going to be a Raging Bull. When it comes to money and business, they are like a bull, at, what do you call them? The running of the bull. They're charging ahead. They're like, this is my opportunity. I'm going at it. So it's a great thing that you found a person who's so motivated and so driven about money. Why? Because as soon as they meet you, Venus is right in front. They're going to get money. And even if they're doing a job, they're just going to start doing business. But one thing you will see with Mars and Taurus, you can mess with this person. You can challenge this person. Even if they're your husband, you challenge them in even some game. They will take you as their biggest opponent. They're like, oh yeah? Okay. Like for example, you guys are at home and you got a pool table or something. Or let's say you guys are at a video game. You guys have children or whatever. You got yourself a Xbox or PlayStation 5 or something. Okay? And you guys are playing. And you must be thinking, well, it's my husband. They're just going to go easy on me. And you're like, you kind of jokingly said, oh yeah, watch, I'm going to get you now. And that is going to activate the bull inside them. And you watch, if the score was supposed to be 5-3 or 3-5 you, it's going to be 15-3 because they're in only focus now becomes how do I defeat this person, because they just aggravated me. They just activated the bull in me. So these are not bad or good things. It's like you'll be one of those wives who will say, oh yeah, my husband is competitive. I mean, even just something as small as a video game, once you challenge him, that's it. It's done. There's this athlete that just comes out of him. And then Mars, Jupiter, Ketu in Virgo. Well, I've already discussed the Mars, Jupiter, Ketu part. So what happens with Mars and Jupiter, especially in Virgo? Very self-critical individual, but also somebody who may even criticize you. Why are you wearing this? This doesn't look good on you. Why don't you do that? Why don't you wear that? They'll always try to correct you. They'll try to perfect you. They will always do the error picking with you. And that can drive you nuts. Why? So look at the symbolism of Virgo. What is the symbolism of Virgo? It is this beautiful, slender body woman, either holding medicines, wheat, or lantern. And so what happens is with Mars, who's in Virgo, okay, naturally is in the sign of its enemy Mercury, who does discrimination. They start discriminating things. They're like, how do I now shape my spouse into a Virgo? Even though they don't know nothing about astrology, they don't care about astrology, but what they're doing through their little criticism, that was going to hit you. Because remember, it's Mars, Jupiter, Ketu. So after they marry you, they suddenly feel like they're the teacher. They're going to feel like they are here to teach you and counsel you about life. And then Ketu comes in, which is cuts. That means cuts and flags and all the things that I just explained in the previous one. So don't just skip to videos on a timeline, because I'm explaining things that I'm not going to explain everything, every single thing, because I'm seeing similar strings. But Ketu is criticism and cuts. They're going to become very critical. But also with this Virgo, you will probably find somebody who's going to be either in accounting, who's going to be in human resources, and of course, one may be doing being a doctor. Like Taurus and Virgo is connected with surgeons, with Mars and Ketu especially involved. But depending on, you didn't give me the house. So depending, if this is in the second house, this is going to be more connected with either dentistry or accounting. If it's connected in the sixth house, it'll be more connected with health. Especially with the 12th and 9th Lord now being with Mars. But that's how easy it is. Ketu, Mars, Sun in Leo. Definitely interest in government. Definitely interest in politics. But also shows me before they met you, okay, they had to deal with two major breaks in their life. Not in terms of marriage or relationship, just career breaks, life hurdles would have been there. And also, they were naturally interested in research, extrapolating things. For example, let's say I was giving the example of Mars, Venus, Mercury in Taurus, finance, money, banking. Here, if let's say Ketu, Mars, and Venus were in Taurus, they could be financial analyst. But again, and then also they meet Sun. Sudden interest in government, politics come into play. They become authority. Their fame rises. They naturally act like the king, especially in Leo. And especially with Mars and Sun in Leo. This person not only is kingly, but the thing is, one thing you should watch for is they should never get anything for free. Whether it's some person or some, let's say they win a sweepstake or something. They get something for free. Not even sweepstake, that's more with the company. But an individual or some business, they shouldn't take something for free. They should always give some money back. They shouldn't, like, for example, we're getting free donuts, free food. Right? You come and you can get free food from us and all that. They shouldn't get those free food. If you're going to go, if you like a donut, go get a donut and just pay them. Because this is a kingly person. A king doesn't get things for free. They don't do this for free. They give things. The more this person actually gives, the better their status becomes. Now, the first one with Venus. Venus in Cancer, 8th house, next to Ketu. String is Venus, Mars, Ketu, but I guess Mars was in some other house. I didn't write exactly where Mars was, but I know the string. I wrote down Venus, Mars, Ketu, and Cancer. So, first of all, when Venus is in Cancer, we naturally see that a spouse, your wife, is going to love traveling. Wife is going to be very moody. And especially if wife deals with health issues, just travel. Have wife travel. Whether at least 70 to 100 miles, when she travels, her health improves. Whenever, and even if, and although with this I definitely see she will have great interest in cooking, but whenever she cooks food for others, health improves. Whenever, and especially your wife is going to be either connected with things related to food, shelter, clothing, or health in terms of their career. Why? Because this is the sign of the mother. Number one, it's the sign of the mother. Mother provides food, shelter, clothing, and health to the child. That means the person that you're going to be marrying is going to be like the mother who's going to be dealing with these things. Mars is in front, so we obviously see C-section will happen with the wife. Then Ketu is there. Wife is going to get into yoga. Wife is going to get into astrology, occult, research. They will also, if let's say they're in some medical field, eventually once they meet you and marry you, they're going to desire to do some research-based work. They're going to be like, I'm done with this desk job. I want to go back to research that I was doing in my college or university. Or wife will simply wanting to desire, because especially, and this will happen once they have a C-section, they'll be like, I just ran across this astrology video and I love it so much, especially with this beautiful, handsome guy named Kapiel Raaj. I want to learn astrology. Could happen, Then, and especially Venus is in the 8th. Your spouse, even though Venus is in Cancer, but it's with Mars and Ketu, she'll become quite suspicious. Always thinking some conspiracy. Always thinking, she will question you. Why were you late? Why were you talking to this person? How come you never talk to this person? Suddenly you're not talking to this person. What's going on? That 8th house suspiciousness will always be there. Venus in Aries with Sun, the string is Rahu, Venus, and Sun. So Venus is in the middle. So that means you're going to be with somebody either of a different culture, ethnic background, from foreign lands. Spouse is going to have a strong ego, very prideful about her paternal lineage. Okay. And we also see that spouse is going to take in charge of your entire life. Now, especially depending upon your own chart, because you didn't say which house, so that doesn't matter. Because, I can keep going on and on if you gave me the nakshatra, but I'm trying to make this as easy as possible. For example, if this is occurring in the 5th or ascendant, then wife will either control your intelligence or wife will control your entire life. All decisions has to go through her. Okay. And then the other thing that a wife is, after they meet you, they will suddenly get some kind of a C-level position or a hierarchy position unless they decide to do their own business. They become the sun. But one thing I will tell you, they bring huge wealth from their past life into your life. But there is going to be an exchange with the universe. With this, either you can have huge money, but then wife will deal with some form of health issue at all time. Or wife can be perfectly healthy, but you will have to work hard for your money. This is but this is not like you'll get one or the other. It depends upon you. It depends upon what the circumstances are. Whenever wife will have some, let's say, issue related to the gut, they will, they may have some pain here, pain there, but then suddenly money's becoming active. That's what's happening. I think someone's here. Venus in the 12th house, Pisces, Mercury in Aries. String is Venus plus Mercury. Okay? Because I believe Sun was in the 2nd house. So, first of all, Venus in Pisces. As soon as the wife comes in your life, foreign travels, foreign settlements, huge money becomes active, your business becomes active, multiple things will happen in your life. You will always get luxury items in a multiple things. For example, you buy not a normal fridge, you buy a luxury fridge. Suddenly, you'll be like, we bought this one fridge. We need one more fridge for the garage. You buy a luxury car. You will buy a luxury car with this. Suddenly, you'll buy another luxury car. The other thing with Venus in Pisces, exalted Venus in the 12th house. What is 12th house? What the first video that I made with Mars. expenses, donations, investments. As soon as this person comes in your life, she will help you with your investment. She'll be like, why don't you invest in here? Boom, it'll work out. She said, let's start donating into this particular sanstha or this foundation. You start donating. Boom, suddenly more money's coming in. And then, this is the best one. When your wife goes out and shops for luxury items, highest quality items, especially luxury shoes, more money comes in your life. And because of this string, you'll have a perfect spouse, yes. She will be very much aware of how to communicate with you, how to deal with you. But yeah, she can be very much in her, pious world, devoted to some devi, devoted to some goddess, okay, where you'll feel like, okay, where's our intimate time? But just remember, the money and the wealth you're getting, I think instead of 100%, if you have 40% of intimate time, you should be happy. Okay? In this world, inflation, and in this economy, you should be happy. But this is a very, very good Venus. But one thing I always said, when this, but again, it's the string also. This is Venus and Mercury, right? Whenever I see them, I'm like, just get married. You're having this career issue, you're having issues and problems and money and all this, just get married. Well, how am I going to get married? I have to stop it. Nope, just get married. You will see multiplication of your money. Why? Mercury's mathematics, Mercury's multiplications. When Venus has Mercury ahead of itself, money starts multiplying. And especially on the suggestion of the spouse. Whatever spouse says, we should invest in Nvidia or something. I don't know. I feel like it's a great stock. Okay, fine. We already know what happened to Nvidia in the last year. But things of those sort happens. Then, where's my video? Okay. Venus, Saturn in Scorpio. I think I discussed this in the last one, where spouse is going to be more mature than you, older in age with you, hardworking, absolute hardworking. She will do the task that nobody else can do. She will do the work that nobody else can do, especially in Scorpio. For example, she'll do enema when you're having constipation. She would do she will deal with quadriplegics or handicapped people and helping them clean themselves and giving them shower, helping out with older people. Very old and traditional value. But at the same time, the spouse would have dealt with some trauma in her younger year, especially related to the mother. And because of that, they will always have that suspicion of things around them, especially related to their elder sibling and especially related to their profession. They're like, in my work, this is happening, or this politics is being played, or that is being played. Definitely will be into paranormal things, will be into wanting to know the hidden secrets of the world, can become a great astrologer themselves, but especially with Venus and Saturn, we see that a person will love doing any kind of sort of work that deals with emergencies of people, especially older and mature people. Whenever they work with old and mature people, this person feels the most happiest. Okay. And of course, then the house will easily tell what will happen. Venus in Aquarius, string is Moon, Venus, Ketu. So first of all, spouse will love food, luxury food, will be strongly influenced by the mother, will travel a lot, would have probably done world travels, would have done a lot of travels, and also would have had many, and especially this is your Venus, you would have had many relationships in your life before you even met this person. The thing with this Venus is, you would have fell in love with many people in your life. Okay? You would have fell in love with many people. Anybody you come and say, oh my God, I'm in love with this person. Oh wait, today I'm in love with that person. But also with this Venus and Moon conjunction, cash flow of money. She's bringing cash flow of money from her previous life. As soon as you marry this person, the cash flow of money becomes abundance. Where is this that I'm looking at? Okay, that, and then it meets Ketu. Naturally, spouse, again, like my Mars thing that I said, will very much get into yoga, occult, research, spirituality, will become a bit distant from intimacy, will become distant from sometimes even responsibility of the marriage, because now they have found something higher. They have found something which is invisible that you cannot see, but they can see. For example, I've actually seen this. If Moon, Venus, Ketu, if they're in, let's say, Gemini, your spouse will be into paranormal things because they can talk to ghosts. They can talk to entities outside of this world, but definitely becomes very spiritual, becomes very critical, even self-critical. May, and again, because this is not in the middle. See, if Ketu was in the middle, like Moon, Ketu, Venus, I've seen this string bring like psychological issues with the spouse. But here it's not psychological issues, it's more like the spouse feel distant, disconnected from the material world. But one thing you will see with Venus and Ketu, the after marriage, the more you donate money, the more money you will make. The more you give money, the more money you will make. The more you reject money, the more money you will make. And I've gone into details of this in my Nandi Nadi course. Then Venus in the 5th house, Scorpio, 29 degrees with Mercury 27, Rahu 7. So the string becomes, wait, Moon is in Pisces. So okay, so the string is Rahu, wait, what is this? Venus in the 5th, 29 degrees, Mercury's at, so Mercury's right behind Venus, yes. Rahu's 7 degrees. And then 6 degrees for Moon. So yeah, so your string is Moon, Rahu, Mercury, Venus. So all you have to focus on is just Mercury and Venus. Because you found Mercury right behind it. There's nobody in the front of Venus. Okay? And it's in Scorpio. So naturally, right as soon as you, first of all, this person will either be a musician, excellent at writing, very good at communication and social things. And also, you will be doing business with them. They will encourage you to do business. And as soon as you meet them, you will see that their skills of communication and business starts advancing your own career. And then also with Scorpio, again, they will give you money through either things like occult, things like research, things like, especially, well, for this we have to have like Saturn involved in the previous one. Money will come through insurance. Like suddenly when you meet this person, you will see when you file your taxes, you start getting more money in from taxes, because the energy of the 8th house is there with Scorpio. Definitely will be extremely sexual. You'll have a very good intimacy with this person. And especially with this, and again, I've said this in my live reading on Instagram. I've had a very similar thing. Keep everything secret about your money, your spouse, your family life, your girlfriend, whoever you date. Okay? Keep that a secret. The more you keep this a secret, the more stronger your Venus becomes. Don't ever reveal your plans. Don't ever, if your wife has some idea that she has shared with you, you keep that in a sealed box. You don't tell your best friend, oh, my wife is thinking about doing this and this. You take the sheen away from that particular Venus. Don't, especially Venus, which is vehicles, Mercury, which is communication. Don't communicate about some new vehicle you have bought and you put it on social media. Oh, look at my new Cadillac or my new Mercedes and blah, blah, blah. Like, you'll see a lot of people, and I've discussed this too, like putting pictures of the priest doing the puja of the new vehicle, and because the vehicle is like a Range Rover or Mercedes, they want to put it online to show off. With this Venus, don't. Nobody needs to know it. Nobody needs to see it. Okay? Keep that a secret. Because the moment you put it online, now that vehicle is going to give you trouble. You're going to have to take it in to fix it. You'll lose interest in that vehicle. You'll be like, oh my God, what did I do? Oh my God, look at these payments. Oh my God. That's what's going to happen. Somebody sees you driving it, fine. Let them see. Now they can see it. You drive to your cousin's house, friend's house, they see it. No need to tell anybody about it. Keep those a secret. Anything which is in development with this particular Venus, keep that a secret. Once it releases, then you announce it. But this, and then again, but the Mercury and Venus, spouse is going to want to know where you're at, what you're doing, who you're with, who is this friend, what is that friend. Especially because if you look at this, Rahu is in there giving much more fear and suspicion. Because again, Rahu's energy is still transmitting a little bit from Mercury to Venus. So she'll always have this fear. Like, oh my God, what is happening? What is this? Where are you at? What's going on? Call me when you get there. Call me when you get home. All of those things will be there. And this is how simple this is. There's nothing complicated. I'm not going into anything. I've not even looked at most of them. No houses, no nakshatra, nothing. You understand a whole lot more about these things, once you just learn the Nandi Nadi. And that's exactly what I'm teaching. Whatever this is that I'm showing is, it's not rocket science. It's fun. I make astrology fun. That's why I'm here. That's it. I'm not here to become some genius. I'm not here to become some yogi. I'm here to entertain you and make astrology more fun for you. That's it, man. After that, I'm out. All right. So anyway, guys, if you're new to my channel, subscribe below. Shoot them these type of videos. So we want to know how to learn all these basic, easy astrology. Check out the links in the description or in the comment section, or go to kiraschannel.thinkific.com. Or if you want reading consultation, go to kiraschannel.com right here, where you'll find all my links as well. Otherwise, we'll see you later. And happy New Year. Happy New Year to everybody. Happy 2024. May this be a most blessed year for you. All right. Thank you.